What a crazy game in Istanbul last week. In my mind, it wasn't a question of if Barcelona would win, it was a question of by how much would they win. After all the turnover that Istanbul had with coaches, with players, and then losing to Hamburg by 70 points, I thought the same thing was about to happen. So hats off to the Rams. They played their best game. Zach Blair was all over the field. Their offense looked rejuvenated. And I think the big story is what happened to Barcelona. Well, you can see here they just had some uncharacteristic mistakes, some unforced errors like all these drops. They couldn't run the ball. Easy throw and catches looked hard. They just were out of sync. The snaps were erratic. They looked sluggish. Their defense played okay, but then by the end of the game, they just looked absolutely gassed. And they had over 100 yards of penalties. They had, I think, 13 or 14 first downs compared to over 20 by Istanbul. So a good example is this last play, right, where they missed the field goal. Well, it would have been a 43-yard field goal. Now it's a 48-yard field goal because of the false start. Barcelona beat Barcelona on Saturday, and it just looked like they never came out of the bye week. Never really were ready to play this game, but they're a very well-coached team. They've got great players, a great quarterback, so I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll get back on track, but it was shocking to see. One decision did not lose this game. If we have to break down some film, what we're going to do is watch just the last couple plays of the last series of the game by Barcelona. This is with about a minute left in the game to either go up or tie. So what you're going to see here from Istanbul is two high safeties right here. And underneath is man coverage. You can tell it's man coverage because everyone has their eyes on their man. And we call it two-man because it's two deep safeties and it's man coverage underneath. So what Barcelona is going to do is they're going to run off the corner with a fade, and they're going to run Kyle Sweet on an out-breaking route, which is a good route to run, especially when he's inside leverage, right? So he's inside of Kyle Sweet, so Kyle Sweet can get an easy release here to the outside. You can see it here, really nicely done. Nice pitch and catch by Zach Edwards and Kyle Sweet. Great throw and catch. Now it sets up 2nd and 4. It's the same coverage. It's two-man. We can tell it's two-man again. Two high safeties, man coverage underneath. And the Barcelona Dragons are going to call the exact same play. It's going to be a fade on the outside, and it's going to be an out by Kyle Sweet. And they just miss. Sometimes as a quarterback, when you get into this situation, right, you're down by 3 and you know you're in field goal range. You don't want to take any unnecessary risks because you have, in your head, you got to think we have the game tied at this point. It's got to be open for me to want to throw it. So I don't know if he wasn't comfortable with the window or if it just slipped out of his hands. It could be a simple explanation like that, or maybe he had it out for the reporter in the pink. Maybe she asked him a question he didn't like before the game. Whatever the reason is, they just don't connect. But you have a manageable 3rd and 4, and you're in field goal range. Here it's 3rd and 4. You can either keep the drive alive and try and win the game, or you're kicking for the tie. Again, Istanbul is in a two-man look. There's a safety here, you just can't see him, but they're in a two-man look, and what they're trying to do is essentially double team Kyle Sweet. What they're going to tell this corner is line up inside or head up, but don't let Kyle Sweet beat you inside. You can get beat over the top. That's why we have a safety behind you to help you out. Underneath, it's man coverage across the board, and Barcelona is going to dial up another outbreaking concept and clear out this safety with a fade. Let's watch this 3rd and 4 play. Again, I'm not trying to criticize, Zach Edwards and the Barcelona Dragons kicked our butts. I thought they were the best team that we had played all year. So, again, not trying to nitpick film, just pointing some things out here. I think that Zach Edwards at this point of the game, and look, I totally get it as a quarterback. After all of the drops that you've had, after the errant snaps, I think he's trying to take matters into his own hands. If you watch his eyes, he doesn't ever really get them to the right or the left. I think he's trying to figure out, where am I going to run this football? You know, Zach is a good athlete, very good athlete, probably one of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the league, and he's had success even in this game picking up first downs on third down. So to me, it looks like he's not even giving the route concepts a chance. He has that out-breaking route by the number 3 receiver open, but where his eyes are tells me I think he's trying to find a hole to run this. Now, the pass protection isn't great. The Istanbul Rams run a stunt, so maybe he didn't feel comfortable trying to hang in there and throw the ball, only needing a field goal, maybe risking a strip sack. So for whatever reason, this is what I'm talking about. It just, their offense, their rhythm, it just wasn't in sync. We've broken down some pass concepts, some coverages, and we're going to talk about the run game a little bit, because you can't talk about the Hamburg Sea Devils without discussing their run game. They can zone block, they run great gap schemes like power and counter. I'll explain that in a little bit, but everything they do in their offense is based off of the run game. Play action comes off of it, right? Their shots down the field come off of it, their RPOs come off of their run game, and right here, they're going to run a gap scheme, they're going to run power. So what they're going to do is they're going to block down and back to this linebacker. They're going to block down here. They're going to block down here. They're going to pull their right guard around for this linebacker. They're going to kick out, and the fullback is going to kick out play side. Now, it works in theory, but you all have to be in sync as an offense. What I love watching with this Hamburg offense is how well the offensive line communicates with each other. The center is like the quarterback of the offense, and you can see him here pre-snap pointing out where everybody needs to be going. And look, the Rhein Fire make it easy on them. It's 3rd and 1, and they're in a 2-high shell. What that means is you have numbers in the run game, okay? Let's all count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the box for the Rhein Fire. Well, that makes it easy because we have 7 blockers, right? 5 offensive linemen plus a tight end plus your fullback. We have 7 on 7, and this is what happens when you have a good offensive line that communicates well and you have numbers in the box. That's an easy pickup. Really good job by their offensive line sorting it all out. Great run. Keep the chains moving on 3rd down. This is a running back's dream. A great kick out by the fullback. Good job of pulling by the left guard. And as a running back, when you don't get touched until 4, 5, 6 yards down the field, it's going to be a good day. Great job by the Hamburg offensive line. Now, it's 3rd and 5, which for a lot of teams is a passing down. Well, when you have an offensive line like Hamburg's and the Rhein Fire is showing you a 2-high safety shell again and creating numbers and an advantage in the box for the offense, then Hamburg is going to try and run the ball here and pick up this 3rd down on the ground. Now, it's 21 personnel, which means that Hamburg has 2 running backs and 1 tight end in the game. And they're going to run power again, but they're going to run power to the weak side. So they're going to run it to this open side away from the tight end. You're going to have your tackle and your guard blocked down. You're going to pull for this end, and the fullback is going to kick out any linebacker that comes up, and this linebacker is going to take a bad angle, so really the fullback ends up just kind of running free down the field. But again, I'm really shocked that the Rhein Fire, especially down here, close to in the red zone, close to the goal line, that they're going to play 2-high safety and give Hamburg an advantage in the box, especially knowing that Hamburg really likes to run the ball. That's their identity. It's shocking to me that they didn't get out of this look sooner. The Hamburg Sea Devils took advantage of this light box all day. And as the Rhein Fire, like I said, I don't understand why they're giving the Hamburg Sea Devils a 6-man box, especially against 21 personnel. You're giving Hamburg the numbers that they need in the run game when you know that they're a running team. So really good job polling, really good job by this offensive line of sorting this all out and picking up a first down on the ground on 3rd and 5. The Vienna Vikings are rolling right now. They're the only undefeated team. Jackson Erdman is playing lights out. What's impressed me about him the most is his willingness to stand in the pocket, take hits, and still deliver the ball downfield. Their front seven on defense gets after the quarterback, stops the run. They're going to be a really hard team to beat the rest of the way. And give their coaches credit for this creative play design in the red zone. We'll break it down a little bit here. Now they're going to sell stretch left, which, watch their offensive line. They're all selling stretch to the left. But they're doing a good job of not getting downfield, because if you get downfield on a pass, it's a penalty. But the Oscar goes to Jackson Erdman for this fake. We call it a half-hearted fake. You don't want to sell run too much because you don't want someone to take out your running back. You've got to sell it just enough to make the defense pause and react. And then you really have to sell this boot to the right, which he does. Watch what it does to the Raiders defense. They all have to stop, plant, redirect, and then Jackson does a great job here selling that boot to the right, stopping, throwing back to the running back. Really creative play design by the Vienna Vikings. They're really fun to watch on offense with all their weapons, and they're going to be a hard team to beat down the stretch.